You're with Craig Zonka and Loretta Ryan on ABC Radio Brisbane.
7:14. Well, a lot of talk and questions about where some of our sporting teams will go when they're kicked out of the Gabba for its redevelopment. Now, when I was at Ipswich on Friday doing the flood anniversary stories, I chatted to Mayor Teresa Harding and she told me she's really pushing hard for the Lions.
Quite excited out here with the Gabba being demolished and a new venue being built there. The Brisbane Lions need a new home, and we think the perfect place would be the Springfield Central Stadium. We know it's a fantastic stadium. We know it's got fantastic public transport and parking there from the Women's AFL Grand Final last year, but we would love to see the state and the federal governments select that and support the Brisbane Lions in coming out here. But it's a natural home. They already have all their support staff, the headquarters, the centre of excellence out here. So the natural home for the Brisbane Lions would be the Springfield Central Stadium. It's also an Olympic venue, so it's already locked in, and it's going to host the modern pentathlon. So it's a fantastic venue for the Brisbane Lions as well as the people who love AFL.
And you haven't had any conversations about that yet with the state government, or you're just pushing it now?
Look, those conversations really did start last year, and we're working very quietly behind the scenes to progress that project. But it's a tremendous opportunity for the Brisbane Lions, but also for us here. And the games are a South East Queensland game, so it's great to see that this would be spread around our South East Queensland.
Mayor Teresa Harding there. So Springfield is already the Lions base for training and administration, and Stadiums Australia is said to be currently assessing the viability of a number of venues. I thought I'd go to Springfield. Bob Sharpless is the Deputy Chairman of the Springfield City Group. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Loretta.
What's the latest you know about what might be happening with these sporting clubs and the homes that they need during the Gabba development?
Well, as the Mayor said, the demolition of the Gabba means that the Lions do need to have another place to play their games for at least 4 years. And we do know that the state government is considering a number of options. We've certainly had, discussions with some of the people in the state government, including our local member, Charisse Mullen, obviously wanting to make sure that the Springfield option is well and truly understood.
And how do you feel about, are you confident that maybe it might happen? The Lions might end up there during the redevelopment of the Gabba?
Oh, yeah, look, I think, we think it is the best option across all the different legacy opportunities that would come from doing it. I mean, the club's already established there. They've had 2 events, the AFLW Grand Final, and then just on last Thursday night, they played Geelong to a very significant crowd again. So, that was just a pre-season event, but it shows that people will come to that venue. So, we know that if the venue was to be expanded, not only does it, create a great venue for the Olympics, but we know that post-Olympics it's going to be continued to be used because, the Brisbane Lions is based there. The women play their competition games there, and I'm a great believer that crowds coming to watch the women will continue to grow and grow and grow, and that a venue, with an increased capacity located at Springfield Central, will just last for a very, very long time in terms of satisfying the demand for infrastructure, of stadium-type infrastructure for the Western Corridor. Already, you've got to understand there's a very significant movement of people into the Western Corridor. And I think it's great to have a venue outside of Brisbane that could cater for those people. I don't think everything has to be located in the Brisbane area for the Olympics.
Yeah, because the other locations Stadium Australia is currently assessing reportedly are the Queensland Sport and Athletics Centre at Mount Gravatt, the Ekka Showgrounds, the Carrara Stadium, and for cricket Allan Border Field at Albion is one being looked at. So what would be the viability in your mind about any of those venues being used?
Well, that's difficult thing for me to really, I guess, have a detailed knowledge of. I think QE2, has been a venue in the past that has been used for one-off events, but it hasn't really cemented itself as a location that people have found particularly easy to get to. The RNA, I think, is obviously a more in a city location, but I know that there are some challenges with building that, and that's a brand new stadium from scratch. So obviously that's going to be pretty expensive. Sending everyone down the Gold Coast to watch games for the Brisbane Lions for the next 4 years plus, I think is going to be a huge challenge for the Brisbane Lions if that was to happen, because it's not the easiest thing to do to head down to the Gold Coast, and watch a game and then get back in a relatively easy period of time. So I think the Springfield option is certainly a far cheaper option than most. And as I said, the Lions are already based there, and I think all the fans that have been going to the games would say unanimously that they found it a very easy venue to get to and a great place to watch AFL football.
Well, it sounds like the Mayor is, of course, confident and really pushing for the Lions to have their home base there. When are we likely to find out? How long will this viability study take? Do you know? No,
look, I don't. I think it's been a work in progress for a while, and I think now that the decision's been made to demolish the Gabba, I think there'll be a number of announcements coming, reasonably soon about what the government intends to do with some of the new venues that are going to be upgraded.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if some of the teams, say they go somewhere else, will they eventually go back to the new redeveloped Gabba in years to come after the games?
Oh, absolutely. Look, I think the Gabba, once it's redeveloped, is going to be a fantastic sporting precinct, and absolutely, I'm sure that cricket and AFL will get back to a fantastic venue. So, there's no doubt in my mind that whilst there are criticisms of the cost, creating that Gabba precinct and giving it a destination and linking it back into the city is a fantastic legacy result for the Olympics.
And do you have the support of the Lions coming out there to Springfield? I mean, they're already there as a training base. Would they make it their home?
Well, it is the Lions' home, so I've got no doubt that the Lions would be happy to play anywhere. I'm sure the Lions value their relationship with the state government, so they'll accept any decision that the state government makes. But I'm sure the Lions would love to play competition games on their home ground. I don't know of any sporting team that wants to surrender their home ground advantage. And for both the female team, the AFLW team that plays at Springfield, that's their home ground. And it could be the home ground for the men's team for at least 4, possibly even longer years during the AFL competition.
And some other sports as well, maybe into the future. Bob, thanks for talking to us. We'll obviously watch it over the next couple of months and see what happens.
Thank you, Loretta.
Bob Sharpless, Deputy Chairman for the Springfield City Group. And looking forward to a lot of sporting action there at Springfield, that beautiful stadium that's been built and obviously will be used for the games. Will some other sports teams make it